You know, usually I give myself plenty of time to think of a new idea for a video. More recently, I've done away with my older practices, which involved uploading a video on the same day it's made. This means that I can give myself more time to work on a video, hopefully resulting in higher quality. But I really did not want to make a 7,000 subscriber milestone video. Not because I'm ungrateful, this channel is my secondary hobby, so people appreciating the work I put in is great, but because I didn't know how to make a video which would live up to the expectations of 3,500 extra people. So like the most unoriginal son of a gun, I made an audience participation video instead. You'd make a great judge on a Food Network because you're so damn picky. It's called having standards, honey. Try it out sometime.
You gave Chuggy the shaft on purpose!
Excuse me, you know that roasting means insulting, right? Even a hobo would find nicer places than that house boxcar piece of your old videos. Considering you've watched those old videos, might I recommend you picking up some standards too? I'm surprised that green hair of yours doesn't make you top heavy. There is a very easy joke I can make regarding Kara being top heavy. But I'm not gonna do it. Oh mate, you look like someone's crappy OC who took Marina from Splatoon and coloured the hair different colour and then called it a day, mates. Oh yeah, blokes. Oh. No. Hey y'all, Flying Scott here.
You're ugly.
Now this guy really seems to think he's got me with this one. And he's really proud of this one as well. So here it is. That's the reason you have a female online persona, to compensate for the fact you'll never get with a woman. What makes you think it's a woman I'm after? How much Pioneer Tank engine I need to stack the bridge to make it collapse? If Train Simulator has taught me anything, it's that bridges are superfluous and the tracks can be suspended in midair. How many A4s does it take to destroy the Empire State Building? Just one. What does GWR stand for? Gresley was right. Did Sir Nigel Gresley copy Hornby when designing the A4 class? If anything, he copied Bachmann because the shape of the test model wasn't right. Is your train enthusiasm actually a clever lie you tell people to avoid shipping? This guy makes a good point. Most electric railway systems run on green energy, so please, go by train if you can, and if you don't live in southern England. How do you feel about your channel getting big because of trains and limiting the variety of content you used to upload? Good question. I did already mention this channel is a hobby, so really I make videos out of a selfish desire to have a creative outlet on a budget. Most spare money that I have goes into the other hobby. That being said, when Sheep on the Line and Chuggy the Tram blew up in early June, it did not lead to the other videos getting a substantial amount of traffic. So to put it like this, I know train videos will always outperform the non-train related videos. Just look at the Resident Evil video. No one watched that. But I make videos not because I want an extraordinary amount of people to watch them. I make videos mostly because I want to watch them. So short answer, feels good. A shame people mostly watch the train videos, but I can't complain. What's a sport you've liked to watch or maybe play? Exactly none of them. Will you do TF2 or Train Simulator 2021 gameplay videos and streams in the future? I have uploaded some Team Fortress 2 gameplay videos with my friend TH, but again, nobody cared. TH does upload Team Fortress 2 footage of our play sessions though. Go subscribe to him. I won't do Train Simulator gameplay videos. I think it will be a little boring seeing as I don't use a face cam. As for streaming, I don't think I'll ever stream. My knowledge of the required programs and tech isn't too great. I'm sorry. Would you do a sequel to Locomotive? I love it, it's so good and comedic. A video will come out when I want it to come out. How did you first get into steam locomotives, and which one are your favourites? I receive these two questions a lot. Railwaymanship runs in the family, so it was inevitable. Though my family will tell you that my grandpa gifting me a wooden train set for my second birthday was what really kicked it off. It was one of them IKEA train sets, though mine was of the unpainted kind. My family will also always follow that story up with how we went to a McDonald's one day when I was 2 and I took the little loco with me only to accidentally leave it at the Mickey D's. According to them, I sobbed until we turned around a good while later to get it back. The employees kindly put it aside for me to come pick it up. As for which locomotives are my favourites, well, mostly British examples. My absolute favourite is hard to pin down, but generally anything LNER or Southern will turn my head. I go through phases where I praise a specific type of loco into the sky. I don't really have a favourite set in stone, if you will. Have you ever done volunteering on a heritage or a preserved railway? Sadly not. For my steam fix I always have to go on a specific day out. I'm not in a position to just hop down to a railway, as it were. 1. What is your favourite marching instrument? And 2. What is your favourite LMS or GWR tank engine? 1. I'm indifferent and ignorant. 2. Those are the exact railways that I am incredibly neutral towards, so I really don't know. Though I suppose I like the Mickey Mouses or the LMS 2MT tanks for those who prefer classifications over nicknames. Preference in regards to CME of the Big Four? I think that is an unfair question to ask, because they all set out to do different things. You can't compare Bulleid to Monsell just as little as you can compare Gresley to Fairburn. A lot of people like Flying Scotsman, but that does not mean that the Hughes Crabs are any lesser locomotives because Scotsman just happens to pull the crowds. Much like the railways themselves, you have to look at the CMEs in a vacuum and praise them for their own merits, I think. Have you ever loved the design that most people hate? AKA the Q1s, the S100s, or the S160s? Who says that people hate the S100s? People love them. They were even on Railway Roundabout. Who hates the S160s for that matter? Okay, the fitters think they're a nightmare, but enthusiasts love them. Also, as an answer to the question, I like Thomson's locomotives. Yeah, all of them. What do you think of the Canadian rail system? GWR, Southern, LMS, or LNER? You know, if the LNER is so overrated, then why did their locos break? There's a reason the GWR is called great. The LMS made locos which survived the longest under... Shut up! We get it. You happen to like X Big Four railway the most. Can we please stop comparing them to one another and finally start treating them as railways in their own right? The Fat Controller, or Sir Topham Hatt. He's not real. He doesn't have feelings I can hurt. I can call him fat whenever I like. What do you think of American steam locomotives compared to British locomotives? Also, I'm very happy to have found your channel. Again.
Can we please stop comparing them to one another and finally start treating them as railways in their own right?
What brand of beverage do you prefer to consume? I'm not sponsored, right? I'm not sponsored. But I like Fuse tea. Also normal cinnamon tea, because I drink that daily. Which is your favourite train or game? And if someone asked you on advice on YouTube, what would you recommend? I've already answered the favourite train question, but my favourite game... I'm not actually a gamer, but a game I'll never say no to is Team Fortress 2. Oh! As for the YouTube advice, in reality nobody bloody knows how it works. We're throwing darts at a dartboard here. Excuse my French. Opinions on the LSWR Beattie well tanks 0298 class. I saw one at Shildon the same day I went to see 6103. Again, I'm sort of indifferent towards William Adams's designs. I prefer Drummond's London South Western Railway locos. I can appreciate them being still around, though. So what's the point of having to get into the Splatoon fandom? I mean, I like the game. I have 1,000 hours in it, and Kara's design is/was directly inspired by my Splatoon loadout. And you bet your bum I'm gonna make Splatoon 3 content when the game does arrive. Will you remake Thomas remakes, sooner or later? No. Have you ever been to the Talyllyn Railway? Sadly, no. I'm utterly in love with number 3, though. Do you like the Railway series?
Did you know that the original passage to this story had the N-word in it?
Opinion on the GNR G-Class Stirling single? A brilliant start to the GNR and later LNER Express locomotive family, though I'm not a fan of the proportions. It looks like someone very large sat on it. Favourite type of coach, because why not? I've been on a lot of coaches in my life, Mark 1s, Romney Height and Dymchurch miniature ones, Monsell bogies, but the ones I thought were the most comfortable and looked the best from the inside were the Gresley Teaks on the NYMR. What's your favourite / least favourite type of engine, railcar, railbus, pacer, multiple unit? I like thumpers. Actually, I like a lot of the Southern Region slam door stock, but not the two bills. But I also really like the look of the Dutch DDZ EMUs. Favorite American steam loco? Hudsons make me feel funny. Opinion on F-unit diesels? Diesel locomotives with extra power units. Sign me up. What's your opinion on the E2 locomotive? It is fine. I say that it is fine because the locomotives were not good at what they were designed for, which were goods trains. But again, people really like the SECRP class, and they were also pretty terrible at their intended jobs, motor trains. So why treat the E2 as if it was the worst thing ever to roll out of Brighton Works, when they have so much in common with the Ps on a surface level? Can you imagine how different people would have felt towards the E2s if 4 of them ended up being preserved rather than 4 P-class locomotives? What is your opinion on the French BB26000? They look like Trax locomotives, that is, Trax with 2 X's, which are very common in the Netherlands. What's your favourite milk? Chocolate? Strawberry? Normal? Also, what fat percentage? 2%? Whole? Skim? Or do you prefer non-dairy milk altogether? I'm allergic. Wait, you're Dutch? I live in the Netherlands, yes, but my Dutch ancestry is minimal. Well guys, all I can say is thank you. This channel, from the beginning of this year, literally doubled in subscriber count, and honestly, I didn't even think that within this year we would go past 5,000, right? I don't know what to say. Honestly, I make videos as out of a selfish need, and seeing that so many people appreciate them, that makes me very happy. I'm sorry that this video took so long to come out. You know, I generally just didn't know what video would satisfy, 3,500 extra people. I don't even know what videos would satisfy the 3,500 people that were here before the beginning of this year. But all I can just say is thank you. And I honestly to God hope that all my other content, not just the train stuff. Of course, like the train stuff, it's the bread and at this point, it's really what I like doing. But I like that when the other content comes around, some of you will stick around and watch it. So just thank you for watching, if you still are, and I hope to see you in the next one. Cheerio. Also, please watch the Resident Evil video, it's one of my favourites.